She's got a film out right now called The Gay Marriage.
Yeah.
And it's making the festival rounds again. I mean, it's been out for a little bit, but it's making the festival rounds.
And it's really causing quite a hoopla among moviegoers everywhere. It's very interesting.
It's getting an amazing response.
Yep. It's definitely a real life story. It's not just a movie. It's not, a fantasy. It's about a real couple who make the decision to be together. Stephanie?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
We were just telling our listeners a little bit about the film, but obviously it's going to come so much better from you. Now, when did you get started with this project?
Well, the idea really started in 2003. Most of your listeners and you ladies know about the Supreme Judicial Court ruling in Massachusetts, which started the whole marriage ball rolling here. That's when I got the idea for the film, mainly because I had never thought that marriage would be something that I could actually do. So it wasn't even a possibility for me. And it actually affected me a lot more than I thought it would. And started going to the constitutional conventions here and brought a crew with me and really went to try and figure out if there was an anti-marriage argument that would make sense to me. And I didn't find one, but I did find a lot of people who were had strong emotions on both sides.
Wow. So you've been working on this and just compiling all kinds of stuff from have you traveled all over for this?
It's funny. The film has had a life for, it's been a long time. It was picked up for distribution in 2006, very shortly after it was completed. And we've been playing in festivals and at churches. I just did a school screening today. So it's just gains momentum, and I think as the debate continues to kind of go nationally, it'll continue to gain momentum, I hope.
And what's the general response? I'm sure you hang out, after screening. What kind of response are you getting?
We get an amazing response, actually, to the film. It focuses on both sides, trying to give both sides of the debate a voice and a face. And so people of both opinions come up to me, and they appreciate the way that we deal with the subject matter. It's a film that people can bring home to their families, regardless of what the people in their families believe. And it's a film that they can watch together and feel comfortable, that nobody's being vilified or made fun of or anything like that. So response has been amazing from all walks of life, young, old, straight, gay, man, woman, it doesn't really matter.
And just from personal experience, what's hit you the hardest?
The couple in the film is just incredible. As I was watching it again today, I realized how, it sounds mean, but how plain their life kind of is. And that's what we really tried to show in the film, is just how normal a lesbian life is. Really no different from a straight life. That's really what hits home to people, and that's what we want them to kind of take away. It's showing that relationship and giving people who perhaps haven't met a lesbian or a gay person to actually watch this film, and now they know a gay person, and it hopefully plants seeds that can start discussion.
It's funny that, that movies and articles and even websites and stuff now that are devoted to just, gay families. And it's what all they're trying to do is show everybody that we're just like everybody else, because you got to wonder, the media plays against it so much. I mean, everybody that, when Queer as Folk first burst on the scene and there was such hoopla about, well, this is not an accurate portrayal of what goes on. And, well, again, you're watching something on a cable network that's geared, for you to tune in. Yeah, for entertainment, to tune in, each week for the storylines and what's going on. And no, it doesn't necessarily portray, what normal life is like. I mean, there were some storylines, I think, that hit close to home. But for the most part, I mean, it's got to be hard, because you're taking a topic that everybody wants to know more about, and yet when they learn about it, it's really no different than what they live.
Right. I mean, who wants to sit down on the TV and watch their own life? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
it is.
Those shows have to be soap operas. They have to be entertaining,
right.
And we're trying. We're entertainment, but we're trying to kind of
educate too.
Show you the real life.
Well, the real focus of the film is more not just about the couple, but about the family that they are, and the caretaking that they do of their family. I mean, it's not just about the two women that the film is focused on. It's about how they care for their family, and that this happens everywhere. This happens in every level of life.
Like, don't you wish, as a mom and a lesbian, that something like this was around, you know, at those formative, hardest parts of raising your kids?
Yeah, I mean, because you want to know that just because you're a same-sex couple, it doesn't take you away from the responsibilities of your family members and of living your life like a in a house, in a home.
90% of the things that go on in your house are going on at, like, the kid next door's house.
Absolutely.
So it's just, you know, well, maybe not your house,
okay. But overall. Now, Stephanie, who did you work with to get this film together? Did you know the couple before you started the filming?
I was already working with Lori Fritchie, who is the executive producer of the film, and we were already collaborating. I had done some interviews and shot some footage by the time she came on board, and I was looking for a couple that was following the same trajectory, getting the marriage license and planning their wedding and whatnot. And I was struggling to find this couple, and one day I sat down and I was just racking my brain, and this very simple idea of calling Lori and asking her if her and her partner, who were going through the same exact thing, you know, would mind being in the film. And they're very private people, and they've turned down interviews, both video interviews and newspaper interviews before, so I felt like it was kind of a long shot. But I gave her a call anyway, and they had literally just finished a conversation where they were going to offer to be in the film.
That is very interesting.
So it was kind of amazing.
That's very interesting.
I bet you they were okay with it just because it's not exploiting anything.
And they knew it was her project, so she knew. Yeah, that's terrific. Really good. Now, what other work have you done?
That was my directorial debut, actually. I did my senior thesis at Emerson. It was a film called Drive Through Love. It was a half-hour narrative piece that I wrote about a bike messenger looking for the woman of his dreams. And it won the 2000 Evie at Emerson College. It's their kind of version of the Emmys.
Congratulations, because that's
that was
huge.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, that's kind of huge, really.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel like this project is opening up a lot of doors for you?
It is. We're working on our next project is a feature film called Millie's, and it's set in Lawrence, Massachusetts, and it's about a bankrupt mill owner who is visited by a group of Millies from 1912 who come back. These women come back to show this bankrupt mill owner how kind of the key to her future is their past. The immigrants come together to help the community and help each other and help themselves.
That does sound really interesting. There's a lot of history in that corner of the country, and there's a lot of good stories back there, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Now, the music also caught the ear of our producer. Producer Vicky's been sharing the music of Janine while we've been chatting with you, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, she does amazing work.
She really does.
That was one of the most fun parts of making the documentary, was scoring it.
She composed music just for the film.
I was just going to ask that.
Yes, she composed it just for the film.
Which is awesome. That's amazing. Really wonderful. Now, I know that the film is making its rounds, but I think we can purchase it too, right?
Yes, it's available for home audiences at www.cinemcgill.com, or you can go to thegaymarriagething.com. Call the number, you ask for the home video price and the educational version, which is also available.
Oh, that's terrific. Now, Denise is throwing the information into our chat room. We have live listeners that join us in a chat room while we're broadcasting, and we'll also include all that on our podcast page. So everybody that's listening to us after the fact will still be able to go. The movie is called The Gay Marriage Thing, and this has been Stephanie Higgins with us tonight.
Stephanie, we totally appreciate you taking time out. I know you had a busy day, and you really squeaked us in. We really appreciate it. And we're looking forward to the next project, too. So when that's ready, give us a buzz.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to be on.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really different. It's not just about the marriage. It is.
Well, you know what I like is that she's
on the family.
And she's doing it with the duality of both sides.
Totally cool.
And that's kind of cool because when you know how we get so rah-rah over the Rosie documentary, the Our Cruise documentary, and all that kind of stuff. That especially Logo. I mean, a lot of their programming is documentary style stuff. So. And they're always showing you the gay perspective of it, and I like that she's bringing in two perspectives on it.
It's really great.
Yeah.
I
wonder if she has the gay person who doesn't really care much about marriage in the film.
That would be you, Denise.
Starring role.